against the splines for this engine case, and it's not supposed to be like that.
With not one, but two machines acting a little funny over the last few days, we still needed to press on back towards the ferry.
Jet engine. We were here a couple days ago. I thought it was somebody's camp, but it's owned by the snowmobile and ATV clubs. Anybody can walk in and use it and get cleaned up, warmed up, cook your food, which I think that's what we're gonna do. Cook our food. Light stove right side, be cautious of handle when on.
Canoe club. They got the big 20-pounder inside.
Oh yeah. Not supposed to take it outside probably. Whoa, look around a paper towel.
Yeah, there you go. Now you're That's talking. What was locked up at the other one. The smiley face trail, John. What's that?
Jeez. Tea.
Everything.
Cutlery. Picnic stuff. Garbage bags. Tools and nails. Again, that's what a well-funded and organized club can do.
The countryside, no matter what town or city you drive through in Newfoundland, has spots straight out of a movie set. In fact, there have been many famous movies that featured shots taken around from some of the towns around Newfoundland.
Judith's bike is still making a clunking noise. We can't identify it. The front sway bar is a little bit loose on the bushings, but she says it's coming from like in here, which is weird. I mean, it could be a steady bearing too, but until you start tearing stuff apart, it's hard to tell. The problem is too is there's so much gear in here that if you ever had to look, you got to pull all the gear out. Trailer rolled. Oh, the trailer rolled. What? You want to winch it? Yeah, all right.
Wait, guys.
You want me down here, hook a winch on so it doesn't roll?
Hold on, we just keep the nose that way.
Okay. Yep.
You're ready. There. You're going that way.
Okay. Okay. Exploring up Goose Arm, some of us. A lot easier to spread out, especially on these straight stretches. And these guys are all good because they all stop at any corner that we need to turn, so. 4 issues with that one too. You want me to go up and get Jason? Just tell him wait, or?
No, he'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Bring it back. This time I
Fred!
and he's like, oh geez, this is a nice spot to stop and take a peek.
Wow.
What a spot.
Yeah, seriously.
So you get your little GoPro now. Now there is a little rocky thingy up there. Up there is.
Yeah. What we have once enjoyed can never lose memories. Part of us.
So that wasn't there like 10 minutes ago. Old man pond. I know the camera's not going to do any of this justice, but that's just gorgeous. Trailers everywhere. That guy's building his own. Yeah.
That's a massive job, I think.
Yeah, that's not gonna be easy.
Do you want me to call Talon and ask him the easiest way to take it out?
He's up here, yeah.
Yeah, that steady bearing is gone.
It does have a steady bearing.
Yeah, it's right there. Alright. So a couple of the guys are gonna go get a jack so we can take this wheel off. But there's no internet connection here, so I can't actually figure out by internet how it's supposed to come apart. But we gotta get that drive shaft out. And there's a retaining nut and bolt that I've already, I've removed the nut. The bolt is seized in there, and there's a tiny little blind hole bearing, or blind hole right here. I gotta try to tap an extension through, but this wheel is in the way. So once we get that out, my hope is we're gonna be able to slide that off of the front differential. And since the center bearing, carrier bearing is completely gone, there's enough room that I can wiggle this drive shaft out somewhere. Separate it and then wiggle it out drive somewhere. Because the steady bearing is right here. We've got access now to the back, but you can tell it's pushed all the way against the splines for this engine case, and it's not supposed to be like that. It's almost separated up front, and it's bad. So the plan is to try to get that drive shaft out. Once we get that out, Judith's gonna have to run in two-wheel drive for the remainder of the trip, but it should get us back to the ferry.
So
See, we can put that right there.
Yeah.
Zip tie that sucker right there.
Yeah, we'll just zip tie the two pieces of the shaft. So yeah, so
in the way.
I'll
Is this the only shaft that we gotta take off? Isn't there another one? No, that's all.
no, you got that one off the back side for the engine, and it's off the front diff. So we'll reattach the front diff and zip tie everything else.
They're too short.
Put some brake fluid on it.
I mean, not that it matters if both drive shafts are disconnected, but should we disconnect the four-wheel drive switch?
It won't really do anything.
Well, no, it won't really do anything, I suppose. Splines aren't attached to anything right now.
All do is turn them back spline.
And there ain't nothing down here to tighten to.
It's like yin and yang, isn't it? And there she is. Two-wheel drive only. We got that two center drive shaft pieces zip tied and wired right to the frame. It's off the splines on both sides, both the drive and the driven end. Whew! Wish us luck for the rest of the time going back to the boat.
Daylight fading fast, and the work completed on Judith's rig to make it mobile again. The decision to look for another campground to stay at, to get cleaned up, reassess, and restage all of our gear and tools was a welcome one. Friends of Prince Edward Campground doesn't have an overflow lot like the last site we were in, so we had to split off into groups of tents on the unserviced RV sites. It was a quick setup and off to bed for an early morning, and yet another push to get back down closer to our journey's end.
Well, it was bound to happen. Packing up in the rain. And we're probably going to have to set up in the rain here too. It's supposed to be pretty rainy all day. Anyway, I've got everything packed up, ready to go. So I am going to take the machine and myself around the corner where the rest of the crew is, and where the first up tents are set up. Have a little bit of breakfast and hit the road. So I don't know how much of this I'm going to be recording because, well, it's raining. It doesn't really make for a good video if you can't see anything out of the camera, but I will try. Anyway, we'll see you out in the trail.
As we enter the city of Corner Brook, I'm still not used to the fact that we are allowed to be here. The fact that we can now access all the shops that rely on tourism to stay afloat means that there's a better chance that some or a group of ATVs will stop by and support the local economy. The RCMP know we are legal, and the approaching cruiser in my mirror just passes by. If this was Nova Scotia, the lights would be on and the sirens would be blazing. Since our day consisted of mostly railbed, enjoy the scenery going through Corner Brook.
That's unbelievable to be able to access all of those shops, all the services, the hotels, the food, the gas. More towns pay attention to what that town there just did.
We gotta get through Halifax and Dartmouth.
Well,
over the bridge.
We'll just talk to that RCMP officer because he wasn't bothering us.
Listen, I asked him to flick his lights on and flip the horn at you. He wouldn't do it. I said he had 2 open beers in his hand. I said, I don't care.
What a different spot.
Yeah.
What a different spot out here. Unreal.
Yeah.
Soft along here.
Be aware that some of the parts of the trailway are still used as active logging routes. Keep your lights on at all times, and always expect rigs like this to be around the next corner.
Headed into Stephenville, and I want to point something out. That's what you get when tourism works with government. What's going on here now? Belt indicator. Might be in limp mode. Although it doesn't seem like it. I think limp mode puts it at like 25 kilometers an hour. Might just be the service belt light. Got some people going over to get some food for supper. Little supper over at Dominion, or also known as Superstore. Canadian Tire, Humber Ford, all kinds of stuff here that you're allowed at legally.
We made the decision to spend a night or two in Stephenville. We found an RV campground that had cabins to rent to give us a base camp to explore from. Even the guides who have been doing this for 32 or some odd times across Newfoundland have not been on some of the trails we are planning to take tomorrow. We rolled up to the cabins and got set up. The cabins are extremely basic, but have a full-size fridge. Since my mattress and bedding is already inside of my swag, I just decided to pitch a tent for my time here, and give the others who are staying in the cabins some space to lay out some of their damp equipment.
If anybody is wondering how I've been doing 2 weeks in the bush, offloading videos, charging phones, charging batteries. That Rocksolar Weekender Pro 250 Max has been fantastic. Cannot recommend it more.
I'm gonna call it a night after a lovely supper, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Okay.
You drive right to the You were saying that last night at supper. No one got a flat yet. This episode was sponsored in part by RPM Powersports, Rocksolar, Off-Grid Trailers, and A&UTV Pro.